They say the strongest battles aren't fought on the chessboard, they're fought in the mind. But sometimes those mental battles spill into real life, and the consequences can be devastating. Right now, the chess world is mourning one of its brightest stars, Grandmaster Daniel Naroditsky, while also demanding answers about how things were allowed to go so far. The story that's emerging is one of pressure, reputation, and a tragic collapse that may have been fueled by relentless accusations that came from one of the most powerful names in the game. Daniel Naroditsky, or Danya, as the community affectionately called him, wasn't just another grandmaster. He was a teacher, a commentator, a friend to countless chess lovers who tuned in daily to learn from his calm, insightful streams. He had the rare gift of making chess feel alive, breaking down the most complex strategies with a touch of humor and warmth. But behind his composed on-camera personality, Danya was carrying a burden few truly understood. A burden that, many now believe, may have been pushed to breaking point by one man, former World Champion Vladimir Kramnik. In the days after Danya's heartbreaking passing, Indian chess prodigy Arjun Erigaisi stepped forward, his words raw, emotional, and filled with anger. He didn't hold back. In a powerful message to the International Chess Federation, FIDE, Arjun demanded that action be taken against Kramnik, accusing him of spreading baseless allegations that targeted Danya's integrity and shattered his mental peace. Arjun wrote that FIDE must prevent Kramnik from playing with people's mental health, calling out what he described as a pattern of toxic behavior that went far beyond healthy debate. The roots of this conflict go back months, even years. Vladimir Kramnik, once celebrated as one of the most thoughtful champions in chess history, had become increasingly vocal about what he saw as widespread cheating in online chess. He made post after post, often implying that top players were using computer assistants. One of those names was Daniel Naroditsky. Despite Danya's spotless reputation, Kramnik's insinuations painted him as someone who couldn't be trusted, someone whose victories were suspicious. The damage was immediate. Fans began to whisper. Forums lit up with speculation. Each of Danya's wins was questioned. Each brilliant move met with side eyes. For a player whose entire life was built on honor and logic, those doubts were devastating. On his live streams, Danya's once light-hearted tone started to fade. Viewers noticed the fatigue, the slump in his posture, the heaviness in his voice. In one haunting stream, the same clip Arjun Erigaisi later shared online, Danya spoke candidly about the toll those accusations had taken. The problem is ever since the Kramnik stuff, he said. I feel like if I start doing well, people assume the worst of intentions. Moments later, exhausted and heartbroken, he fell asleep mid-broadcast. That image has since become a symbol of how fragile even the strongest minds can be when constantly attacked. Arjun's outrage came from that moment. He posted the clip online, saying it was more than enough proof of how badly Danya's mental health had been affected. Isn't this enough to see what he went through? Arjun asked. FIDE has to step up. His message spread rapidly, not just among chess fans, but across the entire sporting world. Because this wasn't just about one game, one feud, or one tragic death. It was about accountability, about the dangerous consequences of weaponizing influence and public opinion. Kramnik, however, refused to back down. He denied all responsibility, claiming he had simply been raising concerns about cheating in online chess. In a shocking move, he even suggested that Danya's death should be investigated by the police, implying there might be financial interests involved, comments that only fueled further outrage. To many, it felt like he was trying to redirect attention away from his own role in the tragedy. The backlash was immediate. Leading figures like Magnus Carlsen and Hikaru Nakamura expressed their heartbreak over Danya's passing and criticized the online toxicity that's become rampant in the chess world. Fans called for FIDE to take serious disciplinary action against Kramnik, while others argued that the damage was already done, that no punishment could undo what had happened. FIDE's president, Arkady Dvorkovich, later confirmed that all of Kramnik's public statements, both before and after Danya's death, would be reviewed by the Ethics and Disciplinary Commission. For Arjun Erigaisi, this isn't just about punishment, it's about change. It's about creating an environment where players feel safe, respected, and mentally supported. It's heartbreaking, Arjun said. But if FIDE doesn't act now, who will? His message resonates with countless young players who've grown up in the online chess era, where a single tweet or video clip can destroy reputations overnight. What makes this story even more painful is the contrast between the two men at its center. Vladimir Kramnik was once the face of discipline and grace in chess, the man who dethroned Garry Kasparov, one of the greatest champions of all time. But over the past few years, he's become increasingly paranoid about cheating, posting endless rants and spreadsheets online, accusing players left and right without evidence. What once looked like passion for fairness has started to look more like obsession. And in that obsession, many believe, he crossed a line that cost a good man his peace, and perhaps even his life. Daniel Naroditsky, meanwhile, was everything the modern chess world admired. Intelligent, kind, articulate, the kind of teacher who reminded people why they loved the game in the first place. His death has become a turning point, forcing the chess community to face some uncomfortable truths. Are we doing enough to protect mental health? Are we allowing public figures to attack others without consequence? And how many more lives will it take before things finally change? FIDE now stands at a crossroads. Its response could define how seriously chess takes issues of harassment and mental well-being in the years ahead. Because this tragedy isn't just about one player. It's about the culture that allowed the harassment to continue unchecked. It's about fans who laughed at rumors, platforms that amplified them, and officials who stayed silent for too long. Arjun Erigaisi's voice has become the rallying cry for those who refuse to stay quiet anymore. His courage to speak out against a legend shows that even in a game built on silence and calculation, empathy still matters. The board might be black and white, but the world around it never is. Daniel Naroditsky's legacy will live on, not just through his games or his teachings, but through the movement his tragedy has sparked. The hope now is that his death won't be in vain, that it will remind everyone, from world champions to fans at home, that no victory is worth someone's life, and no game should end this way. Because at the end of the day, chess might be about kings, queens, and pawns, but what really defines it is humanity. And right now, that's what the world of chess needs more than ever.